We'll convene the regular meeting of the Public Buildings Committee, Wednesday, July 1st, 2020. A roll call is going to show Porter.
Michaelonis.
Walsh.
Daggett.
Dismaris?
Maris, yeah.
Yep. Dismaris is there. Also in attendance is Gary Martin, Clerk of the Works. Approval of minutes of June 2nd, 2020. It's in your packet. Are there any errors or omissions or corrections required? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Rogers, seconded by Walsh.
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention.
Abstain.
John Walker Loomis, abstain. Public participation. Mike, there's none?
Just Gary Martin on the sideline.
Chairman's report. The only thing we've had an issue after the rains with the gutters in the buildings, and I'm going to suggest that the town install leaf gutters type of system. Will keep the leaves out of the gutter system. If you remember, the back of this building is nothing but trees, and the architect has done some plantings around the building for additional trees. So let's think about maintenance and get away from the issue of having to climb between the gutters. That's my concern. Correspondence, I don't have any. New business, Clerk of Works report.
For Gary on it?
Yeah. Gary, there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just, with the gutters, part of the project was not to clean the gutters, so that's not even getting done with the project. So there's a cleaning needed first, and then obviously any work that you want to do after that, and it's really needed throughout, so.
Well, the gutter issue is maintenance of the building. It's the town's responsibility.
Understood. I'm just saying that it wasn't part of the project, so they need a cleaning prior to doing any work on them. It's the only point I'm making.
Yes, I'm not, okay, I understand that.
All right. You guys want me to read the report, or is everybody okay with it? Any questions?
Why don't we open up for questions?
Is
Does
that
anybody
the,
have any questions?
I just want to know, is that the 6/18/20 report?
6/18/20.
Yeah, 6/18/20.
Okay.
Now, if there aren't any questions, I'd just like to bring you guys on board with the HVAC system and issues we're having with high humidity within the building. John has brought together, and when I left today, it hadn't been scheduled, but there will be a meeting between all engineers, being the air temp engineer, Silver Pet engineer, and our commissioning agent engineer from IES. And then I will be part of it, and John Kwasniewski will be part of it, to discuss the problems we're having and what remedies may or may not be available to us. So if anybody, I'm not sure when that's happening, but once it does happen, I will send out an email to all explaining the issues and what their proposed remedies are.
I'll be there also, Gary.
Hey, Gary, how are they determined it's high humidity? It's just the,
Every room has its own thermostat, and in it has a CO2 and a humidity level markings. I went through and I've looked at all of them over and over again. As a matter of fact, Bob's office is the only one that actually reads in the opposite direction. He had high humidity in his office this week, and it was reading 40%, so I knew that was off. And all others were reading in the 70s to almost 80. That low was probably about 66. They know the problem. Air temp has been on site for 3 days. We haven't seen them now for about 3 days. They're not getting to the root of the problem from what I can understand. So that was the request for having engineers sit in a conference call to discuss the issues.
All right, yeah, you mind if and can everybody hear me okay? 'Cause I'd like to, shed a little more light on the situation.
Okay, can everybody hear John?
No, he's breaking up.
Barely, yeah.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, so currently we're dealing with a situation where we have humidity monitoring, but not humidity control. And what my discussions with Harrison was obviously the installing contractor, that they can make modifications to the system to accommodate the humidity reduction. The problem is it's not compliant with the specifications and submittal design. So the intent of the conference call that I actually requested is to get all players involved so that if there is something that can be done that differentiates from the spec, we can have proposed a suggestion, so that the salary engineer analyze it and determine whether it's acceptable or not. Because that's the real issue is, IES is reviewing this thing according to the specification, but there's no humidity control. So we have, a certain volume of air needs to be run over the coil to meet the CFM requirements. We feel it may be moving over the coil too fast and not bringing the water out of the air. The other is we have a minimum requirement of 30% makeup outside of air at all times, which on a very, very humid day may be more than the building can handle. So the intent of the meeting is to discuss some alternates to the specifications so that we can, reduce the humidity in the building. Did everybody get that?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But so, John, can you hear me?
Yes.
So the systems we have there, do they have the capability to draw humidity out of the air?
They do. They don't have evaporator coils or anything like that, but the standard cooling, the cooling coil will draw all of or a lot of moisture out of the air. So with some tweaking of how the system operates, it will bring more of the water out of the air. But currently the system is running at what the spec requires. But with some tweaking, and it doesn't sound like much of a tweak, we could significantly reduce the humidity.
Okay.
But we need Silver Petroselli's engineers to okay that, because IES, the commissioning agency, their report, they're matching the system that was installed to specifications and submittals. And if those don't line up, then their report is obviously going to indicate that we're not meeting the specifications.
Okay.
I see some of the comments today from a couple of those people that somebody's on vacation for the next week or two.
That might have been from the project manager from Airtime.
I think it was.
Yeah, I told him there is no way we're waiting for him to get back from vacation. So he can either have someone fill in for him, or he's going to have to be sidelined for this meeting because, the issue needs to be addressed. And we need to do it sooner than later. So if talked to him today, he said he would make his best effort to join in on the conference call, and I'm confident that he will.
Okay. So we'll just have to wait and see when everybody can get on the conference call.
It looks like everyone has responded at this point with their availability, except for Silver Petroselli.
Okay, and that's through John Tuss.
Correct.
Okay. Because
Actually, they're engineer. that is being added.
Any further questions for John?
One thing, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, the one thing I did when I was down there yesterday, I spoke with Lisa Dalton, and she was saying something about the security system needing more than one zone.
That's actually being worked on right now by Roy Kavanagh and the police department
All right.
to come up with a zoning. Yeah, it was all one zone, which we were all surprised about. But they're coming up with what needs to be done for the building for security's sake, a plan of action, and then a move to get what is recommended installed.
Hey, Gary, did we ever get the key situation straightened out?
Not yet. I've still got some questions for John that I'm waiting for answers for. I've explained to him that some of the keying layouts don't really work as we thought they would in a pecking order from top to bottom. And so I'm not sure where John stands on that.
Okay.
John, you have a comment?
I reached out to Builders Hardware, who is the distributor for our keys and hardware. He has reached out to Schlade to see if anything can be changed with the existing keys and cores that we have. The other problem that, is obviously out of everybody's control is that Ray Nicola played an integral role in the development of this keying system. So the interpretation of it is, is up to the person who's interpreting it, but ultimately he's the one that came up with the matrix that was used for the keying system. So we're kind of working, a couple steps forward from where, we could be, obviously, if he were still around. So I've asked the rep that I'm dealing with at Builders to make himself available in the event that we need to have a meeting to discuss the keying and what the alternate options are, or modification options are. And he actually reached out to me today and said he would make himself available one day next week. So if you and I can coordinate to see if there's a day next week that works to discuss this thing and try and iron it out.
John, if you can give me the date that he's going to be coming down, I will get the entire layout done and check key by key to confirm what is working the way designed and what isn't. It makes it easier for that meeting.
Well, I mean, the matrix was designed for the building. So, if we're making changes to that, that's one thing. But if it's not working, that's a whole other issue.
And from what I'm seeing, at least from the keys that I did in the town manager's office with Lisa Catano, they were not matching the layout. Because again, she needs 3 or 4 keys to open up the rooms around her, which that's not, they were all under the level of keying that we had for that one set of design or numbering or whatever you want to call it. But we can talk about that further.
Okay.
And then lastly, from my end, we did get more water in Lower C. John knows about it. Daniel's caulking hadn't finished his work. Now, John, question for you. Is Daniel Caulking going to continue the work that they're doing across the area of the Lower C to the wall where we no longer have a basement?
Yes.
Okay.
Any further questions?
Gentlemen.
Okay, 7B, project expenditures to date. If you'll notice that contingency still shows 84,627. That hasn't changed in about 3 months. I'm not sure why. Item C, Silver Country Selling Associates project update, nothing to report. Item D, discussion and possible vote on Burlington Construction Company proposed change order number 0059, dated 6/9/20, associated with the credit for the change in window shades. And that's in your packet, and that's $14,725. Is there any questions on the change or why it was done?
Why was it done? It's a good thing, but
Timing, for the most part. I gave John the name of a shade company that I had dealt with when I was director of facilities for the Westport School. So I knew it was a good company. They made a couple shades for John, just as a temporary shading. The people who have them seem to think they're,
You guys like these, then we could go with them throughout the building and you could save a whole bunch of money. And when Jason Warner was still around, I presented him with photos of the shades that were spec. And they look very, very similar. The reason why there's such a significant cost savings is because of the material difference. And the material that was in the specifications was something that you would see in like a LEED certified building. So it's made from mostly recycled material. And,
Okay.
you know, I said, you know, I proposed the concept of, you know, if you steer from this, and obviously this isn't a LEED job. So,
Right.
I saw a cost savings opportunity. And so, you know, I presented it and it sounded like everybody was receptive to it. After further review, the decision was made to go with the credit versus the more expensive roller shade. But from an aesthetic standpoint, they're really, you can't really differentiate one from the other.
And I had an occasion to talk to John Gonzalez and Tom Wynn. They reviewed them in my office, and they said it looks like a good deal.
all right.
so Bob, you're saying that they sell both the shade that was spec'd and the replacement shade?
No, the replacement shade that was put up in our office. We had my office faces south, gets direct sun all day, and we can't use the computers. So John had two shades put up. This is the shades we're talking about, correct, John?
Yes.
Okay, two shades put up. Gonzalez and Tom Wynn both saw them and suggested that was a good way to go, especially in the.
Reason for my question, so nobody, you or I or John Gonzalez saw the shades that were supposed to be installed. So we're just putting up.
No, it's my understanding.
I haven't seen them either, so I'm asking the question.
John, tell us the history on those shades.
I think I just did, no?
No, the fact that the company, there was a long delay in getting them, or the company had shut down.
Oh, yeah. COVID situation, the factories were shut down. And the person in Plainville where we got the temporary shades from was still open. So we went, you know, we obviously got some temporary shades to satisfy certain areas of the building that were getting the excessive sunlight so that temporarily we could alleviate any glaring off computer screens. Once we installed them, you know, the thought was, why not put them everywhere and save close to 15 grand?
Perfect. I guess my point was just to make sure that the quality was there, and we're not, you know, in 30 days, we're not going to be buying new shades. But if they're just as good, if the function is perfect, then yes, let's embrace saving almost $15,000. That's great.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any further comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the credit proposed change order of of 00059.
I'll make a motion to accept proposed change order number 00059.
Second.
Made by Magus, seconded by Walsh. Any further comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Okay. E, discussion and possible vote on Burlington Construction Company proposed change order 00060 dated 6/11/20, associated with a credit for the deletion of the wall phones. And that credit is in the amount of $4,287. John, you want to give us a little history on that one?
Throughout the original analysis of the town's needs, obviously with the consultation of the town, it was deemed that, partway through phase one, that the wall phones in all of the designated locations were not necessary. So it was decided, why not omit them? And this is the product of that decision.
Bless you.
Any comments or questions?
Nope.
Nope.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion then to accept the change order 00060, the amount of $4,287.
I'll make that motion, Siriello.
Anthony, is there a second?
Second, Demaret.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second by Demers. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. E. Item F, discussion and possible vote on Burlington Construction Company application payment number 00023 dated 5/31/20, the amount of $126,663.80. Any questions on the pay application?
Siriello, was the architect signed off on the pay application?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
this pay app,
I have the certified copies in my briefcase.
and I realize this was through May 31st, so it does not include the recent change orders. Just making a note as I compare to the remaining contingency, that's all. However, this application does include the basketball relocation change order. And that provides a $110,000 increase over the previous, over the town's previous accounting ledger, if you will. And so when the town's accounting is updated, the contingency comes up short. That shortfall is offset by the two change orders we just approved.
So the basketball court relocation, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with that particular change order. And this is my understanding of it, and frankly, I was just, doing everyone a favor by running this through the contract, because that's the only way the DEP money could be allocated towards this. But there could be, to offset that change order, a capital injection from DEP funding, which I don't see reflected anywhere. Which isn't, that'd be a question for whoever's handling the spreadsheet. But there's going to be funding for the dollar amount of that change order, and should have no impact on the bottom line of the price. Because I actually waived our OH&P. That was the only way to get the DEP funding validated, was to run it through the project.
And Gonzalez was aware, but I told him that it was coming. So that's all I can say.
Okay. And Bob, you're familiar with all this naturally?
Pardon?
You're familiar with all this?
Yes,
Okay, so,
Roy Kavanaugh had made a kind of agreement with DEP that the brook in the back of the building by next to the Watertown manufacturing.
yep, separate project, yep.
So the basketball court was moved from there to Swift Junior High. And it's my understanding the court has already been built. Is that correct?
Yes,
And that is done through Stony Brook.
correct.
So it was kind of a win-win for the town. They got the basketball court that was taken out for the parking. Any further comments?
Okay, so I guess to the extent, and I realize we're reviewing the pay application, so I don't want to digress too far, but with that, the change order is not reflected on the ledger, so then the accuracy of the ledger would stand, I guess, for the moment.
Well, the ledger hasn't been corrected for about 3 months. The same amount shows up every month.
Right.
Okay.
I can't tell you why they do it that way.
I have no further questions on the pay app.
Any further discussion on the certification for payment? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion then for the Burlington certification for payment 00023 in the amount of $126,663.80.
Magus will make that motion.
August, is there a second?
Second.
Walsh, any further comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Public participation, item 8, limited to items on the agenda. We don't have any public.
We do not.
According to Mike, we don't have any public participation. Item 9, a motion to adjourn.
I just have another question. Sorry, guys.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna go quick. Hey, Gary, I know that you had some conversations with John regarding the outside landscaping and grass and weeds and mowing and overgrown grass. When is landscaping going to be done?
I haven't gotten a response from him on the question I asked, but John, can you answer that?
Sorry, what was the question?
Landscaping.
Basically with the outside landscaping, when will it all be completed? All the grass seed down, all the overgrown grasses down in front, when will that be knocked down? All the trees planted. There's also a maple down. If you look at the front of the building, the bottom right-hand corner, there's a maple tree was installed right against the building. By next year, that's going to be growing onto the building. And I think that needs to be addressed now too, but I think we got to get on the landscaping if we're close to being finished.
Right, so they've seeded in mulch, and the front area where there's the overgrown area, there is a planting bed that goes on that slope that's going to be actually, obviously we've been dealing with some not so, favorable weather this week, which is why it wasn't done, but they're going to be removing that section of the sloped area on the driveway coming up to do the planting bed. The remaining of the planted areas, we have to, at this point, because everything's been seeded in mulch, we have to, obviously allow the grass to germinate and spot treat any areas that don't grow. And then, just stay on top of any weed control, into the fall and just, when you do seeding and hay mulching, you never get full, bed of
Yeah, you're gonna have
grass.
spots. Yep, you're gonna have spots. Yep.
So it's over the next you know, a couple of seasonal changes. It's just gonna be a work in progress to get the grass to where it's gotta be.
Yeah, I'm not,
If we stop everything, you have instantaneous grass, but we know that that's not the situation.
right. No, I get that. But it's just if you walked out, I mean, I was there yesterday, I believe it was. I saw you guys out front and just the outside appearance just looks terrible. I mean,
John, I will say that I'm not seeing any grass growth, any germination happening. I see a lot of weeds popping their heads like crazy.
yeah, weeds are,
I'm having a hard time finding it.
so I don't know that we need to address that, I think. The other thing is just to go on record, and this isn't our responsibility, but looking out Bob's window behind him there, we still got those trailers out there. Are those going to be permanent fixtures for the town? And that, again, that's not for our committee to decide, but I just wanted to go on record that, you know, that is our main entrance into our town hall. We spent $12 million on this project, and we have that Board of Ed building there, the white building right behind Bob. The garage doors need to be replaced. There needs to be painting between the trailers and the white building. There are big cinder blocks, and there's broken down picnic tables and things like that. I mean, that stuff needs to be, our town needs to look at that and say, I thought we were going to make this a gem of the town, and that's the first thing you see when you pull in. They need to address that. I kind of went off track there, but that stuff, the town's got to, I don't know if it's a town council, it's a Board of Ed, but somebody's got to take a serious look at that and say, we need to make this better.
All right, I did speak to Lisa Carew for Park and Rec. I think 3 of those trailers down there, which are going to be moved, and the other, all 5 of them are going to be moved. That's what I was told. The next thing, that maintenance building for the Board of Education has been an eyesore for the last 20 years.
Yeah,
And the board needs to do something about it.
definitely. They definitely do.
I can certainly make a call for all the good it's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go to a Board of Ed meeting in the near future and a town council meeting and just kind of, you know, bring it up again. You know, for the last 20 years, this wasn't the town hall. You know, it was Hemingway School. It was,
Yep.
so people really didn't notice it. But now that's the main entrance, that's the first thing you see. And the impression that it's giving, it's like, yeah, it's once you get inside, but it's, you know.
Mike, I concur with you 100%.
Okay, sorry, just venting a little bit.
No, it's perfectly right. And it is a $12 million building, and we've got this outsourced.
Okay,
I want to make sure they maintain those baseball fields too, because they can
Oh,
overgrow
yeah.
them pretty bad too.
You know, they've been doing a pretty good job on the ball fields there.
They're not getting used that much this year, so that helps.
Unfortunately, you're correct.
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Okay, anything else? If not, a motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
Walsh,
Magus will second.
August, second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, abstain. Thank you all. Have a safe and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Well,
Yeah, you too.
Jeff, before you get off, have you
Take care,
talked to your
Bye,
town
guys.
committee?
Take care.
Okay, signing off.
Thanks, John.
Yep.
Have you talked to your town committee about replacing a donor?
No, that's on, I'm going to discuss it in the next meeting. We had stuff going on in the previous couple meetings, so this next meeting, we're going to discuss it. We're going to replace him though, because obviously he hasn't been to a meeting since I think I've been on here.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I don't even know who he is, to be honest, so.
He's a great guy, I know him personally.
Yeah,
But he still has to come to the meetings.
yeah, he hasn't been to a meeting.
It's not fair, it's not fair to the rest of the members when they don't
Okay,
choose to attend.
okay.
Not to keep bugging you, but.
No, I got to make that change. I got to swap him out. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. Have a
Take
great
care.
weekend.
You too.
And
Thank you.
good night. That's it.